For me, I mean, I really associate that playing with Jimi Hendrix, but
One thing that I loved about it is the song "Scar Tissue."
John Frusciante has been a transformative figure in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, helping to shape the band's sound across multiple periods of their career. His guitar work has produced some of alternative rock's most emotionally powerful moments, ranging from energetic funk rock songs to experimental solo projects that explore deeply personal musical territory. Frusciante took his musical education seriously, studying music theory while drawing inspiration from punk rock, progressive rock, and avant-garde music. Working as both a guitarist and producer has given him unique insight into what makes certain guitar players truly exceptional. His perspective blends technical understanding with raw emotional authenticity. When Frusciante discussed his favorite guitarists, he wasn't making casual conversation. Instead, he showed deep respect for the artists who fundamentally shaped how he approaches music. Throughout his career in various interviews, Frusciante has explained how each of these guitarists opened up new creative doors for him. His production work and solo experiments clearly demonstrate these influences. Frusciante gravitates toward guitarists who take creative risks and channel genuine emotion through their playing. He values honest feeling and artistic bravery more than technical perfection. He admires guitarists who experiment without fear and build their own unique sonic landscapes. For Frusciante, conventional technical skill means nothing without emotional depth and artistic vision. His choices reflect his core belief that guitar playing should communicate something authentically human. His list includes both obvious legends and lesser-known heroes, revealing his sophisticated understanding of the guitar as a tool for artistic expression. Starting with Captain Beefheart, his Magic Band featured some of the most unconventional guitar playing ever recorded in rock music. Guitarist Zoot Horn Rollo played incredibly complex parts that completely defied traditional music theory. His contributions to albums like Trout Mask Replica created entirely new possibilities for what electric guitar could do. Frusciante discovered these recordings as a teenager, and they completely shattered his previous understanding of what the guitar could accomplish. The playing sounded chaotic at first, but it was actually precisely composed and required endless rehearsal. Rollo used alternate tunings and played rhythms that seemed mathematically impossible to execute. His guitar tone was raw and aggressive, cutting through Beefheart's bizarre musical arrangements. Frusciante loved how Rollo abandoned conventional ideas of beauty to create something stranger and more truthful. The Magic Band proved that guitar music could sound completely alien, yet remain deeply emotional at its core. Rollo never played the safe or predictable patterns that audiences typically expected. What made him essential was his total commitment to Beefheart's wild vision without any compromise. He learned impossibly difficult parts through brutal rehearsal sessions. Frusciante has reportedly said that Rollo showed how guitar could express things beyond normal human experience. The Magic Band's influence spread throughout punk, noise rock, and experimental music scenes. Rollo's fearlessness taught Frusciante that breaking musical rules creates new artistic freedom. Robert Fripp brought discipline and precision to progressive rock guitar playing. His work with King Crimson combined classical music structure with aggressive rock power. Fripp's playing on albums like Red and Discipline showcased technical mastery serving compositional genius. Frusciante carefully studied Fripp's approach to layering multiple guitars and creating complex musical textures. Fripp proved that intellectual rigor and emotional intensity could coexist perfectly in music. He developed unique techniques like cross-picking patterns that created hypnotic rhythmic textures. His tone was clean and cutting, with every single note articulated with perfect clarity. Fripp's guitar solos built logically like mathematical proofs while maintaining genuine feeling throughout. Frusciante appreciated how Fripp treated the guitar as a serious artistic tool rather than mere entertainment. Fripp's dedication to craft and innovation never wavered across 5 decades of music making. What separated Fripp from other progressive guitarists was his philosophical approach to creating music. He viewed guitar playing as a discipline requiring meditation and focused concentration. Frusciante has allegedly praised Fripp's ability to combine absolute precision with genuine emotion. Fripp's influence touched alternative rock, post-punk, and experimental music deeply. His refusal to compromise his artistic vision inspired Frusciante's own experimental solo work completely. Johnny Marr created the distinctive sound of the Smiths with his shimmering, jangly guitar approach. His playing on songs like This Charming Man and How Soon Is Now defined the sound of 1980s alternative rock. Marr's guitar parts were intricate yet catchy, memorable yet sophisticated in their construction. Frusciante loved how Marr made complex arrangements sound effortless and natural. Marr wrote guitar parts that functioned essentially as melodies, competing beautifully with the vocal lines. What made Marr irreplaceable was his combination of technical skill and pure melodic genius. He thought like a composer, arranging multiple guitar parts that interlocked perfectly with each other. Frusciante has reportedly stated that Marr proved guitar could be both beautiful and intelligent at the same time. Marr's influence on alternative and indie rock remains absolutely fundamental. His approach showed Frusciante how texture and melody work together to create emotional atmospheres in music. Vincent Gallo represents artistic integrity and experimental rock exploration. His guitar work with the band Bohack and various solo projects showed complete disregard for commercial expectations. Gallo created noisy, emotional soundscapes that prioritized raw feeling over technical precision. Frusciante discovered Gallo's music through underground channels and immediately connected with its raw honesty. Gallo's playing was messy, passionate, and completely authentic. He used feedback and distortion as expressive tools rather than treating them as mistakes to be avoided. His approach to guitar was painterly, focusing on creating textures and atmospheres. Gallo never tried to impress listeners with speed or technical precision. Frusciante loved how Gallo made the guitar sound vulnerable and human. Gallo's recordings captured imperfection as beauty rather than treating it as a flaw. What made Gallo special was his absolute refusal to compromise his artistic vision for any reason. He remained underground and unknown to most listeners, seemingly by choice. Gallo has allegedly called Gallo the most honest guitarist in American underground rock. Gallo's influence on noise rock and experimental music spread quietly through dedicated listeners. His example taught Frusciante that commercial success means nothing compared to artistic truth.
John McGeough pioneered post-punk guitar with his work for Susie and the Banshees, Magazine, and Public Image Limited. His playing created dark, atmospheric textures that defined late 1970s alternative rock. McGeough used effects and unconventional techniques to make the guitar sound haunting and mysterious. Frusciante studied McGeough's records carefully, learning how to create mood through guitar playing. McGeough proved that guitar could sound cold and beautiful at the same time. His work on songs like Spellbound showcased his ability to create memorable riffs from unusual note choices. His tone was clean but menacing, cutting through dense musical arrangements. McGeough never played standard blues-based rock guitar patterns. Frusciante appreciated how McGeough approached guitar from an art school perspective. McGeough thought about texture and space as much as he thought about actual notes. What separated McGeough from other post-punk guitarists was his sophisticated harmonic knowledge combined with punk energy. He used jazz chords and dissonance purposefully and deliberately. Frusciante has reportedly praised McGeough's ability to make guitar sound completely new and emotionally powerful. McGeough's death in 2004 robbed music of one of its most innovative voices. His influence on alternative guitar playing remains profound and underappreciated. Hillel Slovak created the original Red Hot Chili Peppers sound that launched the band into existence. His funk rock fusion combined slap bass energy with melodic guitar playing. Slovak's work on albums like Freaky Styley and the band's self-titled debut showcased his unique combination of punk attitude and musical sophistication. Frusciante joined the Chili Peppers to replace Slovak after his tragic death from a heroin overdose. Slovak became Frusciante's most personal musical hero. What made Slovak irreplaceable was his combination of technical skill and pure funk feeling. He understood rhythm like few rock guitarists ever have. Frusciante has allegedly said that Slovak showed him that guitar could be funky and emotional at the same time. Slovak's influence on the Chili Peppers' sound remains fundamental to the band's identity. Honoring Slovak's legacy became Frusciante's personal mission when he joined the band as a teenager. Frank Zappa combined compositional genius with technical guitar mastery across 5 decades of work. His music spanned rock, jazz, classical music, and pure experimentation fearlessly. Zappa's solos were spontaneous compositions showing harmonic sophistication and rhythmic complexity. Frusciante studied Zappa's albums carefully, amazed by his complete musical vision. Zappa proved that guitar could express any musical idea imaginable. What elevated Zappa above most guitarists was his completeness as both a musician and composer. He wrote complex orchestral pieces while maintaining raw rock energy. Frusciante has reportedly stated that Zappa showed that intelligence and emotion could coexist in guitar playing. Zappa's influence spread across progressive rock, jazz fusion, and experimental music. His fearless approach to composition taught Frusciante that rules exist to be broken intelligently. Jimi Hendrix revolutionized electric guitar in just 4 years of recording. His innovation transformed what everyone thought possible on the instrument. Frusciante discovered Hendrix as a child and studied his recordings like sacred texts. Hendrix combined blues feeling with psychedelic experimentation seamlessly. Every guitarist who came after Hendrix exists in his shadow, whether they acknowledge it or not. Hendrix's performances at Monterey and Woodstock proved that guitar could be both theatrical spectacle and transcendent art simultaneously. His songs like Little Wing and Bold Is Love showcased his sophisticated harmonic understanding. Hendrix used the recording studio as an instrument itself, layering guitars into complex sonic paintings. Frusciante loved how Hendrix expressed pure emotion through technical mastery. Hendrix never played safe or conventional patterns. What made Hendrix eternal was his combination of technical innovation and raw emotional honesty. He approached guitar as both spiritual practice and artistic statement. Frusciante has allegedly said that Hendrix showed that guitar could express the entire human experience. Hendrix's death at age 27 created a permanent void in music. His influence on Frusciante's approach to tone, effects, and emotional expression remains absolutely fundamental. Eddie Van Halen changed rock guitar forever with his two-handed tapping technique and innovative tone. His playing on Van Halen's debut album shocked the guitar world completely. Van Halen combined classical music training with hard rock power spectacularly. Frusciante learned Van Halen's solos note for note as a teenager, studying his technique obsessively. Van Halen proved that innovation and popularity could coexist perfectly. What separated Van Halen from other technical guitarists was his pure joy and musicality. He made impossible techniques sound fun and accessible to listeners. Frusciante has reportedly praised Van Halen's ability to innovate while keeping rock and roll spirit alive. Van Halen's influence on rock and metal guitar playing cannot be overstated. His death in 2020 ended an era of guitar innovation and excitement. Jimmy Page sits at number 1 on Frusciante's list because he combined songwriting genius, production mastery, and revolutionary guitar playing. His work with Led Zeppelin created the template for hard rock and heavy metal completely. Page didn't just play guitar brilliantly, he also produced legendary albums, wrote timeless songs, and created sonic landscapes that defined an entire era of music. Frusciante places Page at the top because Page represents complete artistic vision. Page's playing on Stairway to Heaven showcased his ability to build from acoustic delicacy to electric power perfectly. His use of alternate tunings and production techniques influenced everyone who followed. Page recorded guitar parts that were compositions in themselves, not just accompaniment to vocals. Frusciante studied Page's production decisions as carefully as his actual playing. Page understood that guitar tone and studio technique were inseparable from great playing. What made Page irreplaceable was his mystical approach to creating music that still sounded grounded and powerful. He combined folk music, blues, and Eastern influences into something completely original. Frusciante has allegedly stated that Page created the blueprint for what a rock guitarist could accomplish artistically. Page's riffs on songs like Whole Lotta Love and Black Dog are among music's most recognizable moments. His influence on Frusciante's approach to production and composition remains profound and permanent. Frusciante's list of favorite guitarists proves that emotion, innovation, and artistic courage matter most in music. These guitarists all created deeply personal music that expressed genuine human feeling, not just technical achievement. Their influence shaped Frusciante into the guitarist and artist he became, teaching him that breaking rules, taking risks, and staying true to artistic vision creates the most meaningful and lasting music.